Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another Heritage Miniatures game review. Heritage Miniatures back in 1978 made yet another Barsoomian wargame manual. This one's actually the Barsoomian Battle manual. Excuse me. And unlike the previous review I did on the adventure guide book that I did last week, this one is a straight up war game. There's very, very little in the way of description or narrative play, so to speak. Clearly, the players create the scenario for the war game that they're about to play. But this one is just straight up hardcore 70s style miniature wargaming, designed to be used with the heritage line of John Carter Warlord of Mars miniatures, which were, some of the more popular miniatures by Heritage. The only ones that were probably more popular were, of course, the Lord of the Rings miniatures based on the Ralph Bakshi animated Lord of the Rings cartoon. Not really the Hobbit cartoon, but the Lord of the Rings. And this one, unfortunately, we never got a movie, or I should say, an animated feature for, which would have really, really been, a blessing to all us John Carter fans. And maybe one of these days, maybe somebody will produce a movie or an animated series, along the lines of Heavy Metal. That's what I keep thinking, or Wizards, or some of the old 70s and 80s animated features. This game is pretty short. It's 50 pages. It's actually pretty expensive. It's one of the harder ones to find. The ones I did last week, because of the different cover print runs, kind of like the predecessor to the variant covers of comic books. This one only had one cover and one edition, and I don't know how many they made. Probably, maybe 10,000 copies. But, it's chock full of charts, and the combat, can range from man to man to armies, the monsters of Barsoom, the of course the Green Martians, and of course the airships. It covers everything you could possibly want to play in a John Carter scenario. All the different types of battles, and I suppose you could create your own campaigns. Although there are campaign rules in here, but out of the two that I've done, or excuse me, the three if I include the TSR version, the adventure game is more to my liking. But if you really want just straight up, rank and file troop or airship combat, this is the one I would go with. It's far more in depth and more, crunchy, as it were. As crunchy as 50 pages could get you, especially back in the day. This would probably be considered, a pretty extensive rule book. Obviously now there are rule books in the hundreds to 1,000 pages out there. I'm not going to go into anything specific because wargaming, for the most part, I tend to play simpler war games, not historical, mostly fantasy and science fiction, Galacta, Ogre. Hopefully one of these days soon, Star Schlock will put its rule system out, and we'll get that. We'll play test that. Let you guys know what we think about that. But this one's pretty simple. It's if you're into that kind of thing, this is the one I would recommend. Although I'm going to do one more war game, believe it or not, for John Carter next week, and I'm betting most of you can guess which one that'll be, because it's actually the more well-known John Carter war game, and it's more in depth, more detail, and it actually comes with a lot more bells and whistles. This is just a simple manual, like I said, 50 pages, and it actually runs also about $150 if you can find a copy of it. But like I always tell you guys, buy in the spring, sell in the fall. And if you're interested in this would be the time to grab a copy. Especially if you're just a collector, you could maybe pick it up for $75 to $100. I haven't really looked because I have a copy Don't really need another copy, and it's in pretty good shape. And considering how old it is, and you know how few they probably made, I'm really glad I got it. I probably never will actually play this game. I'll probably go for the one that I'm going to do next week. But I just wanted to, show you all the different things that are out there this month, because we're doing Edgar Rice Burroughs and John Carter and Tarzan. And like I said, I really wish there was a Tarzan game. But I actually have something that might do in a pinch, and the little guy and I are probably going to play that real soon. But I'll leave that for a later date. But until next time, it is Friday. Gonna get ready to make some burgers, hang out at 10 Cars Tavern for a little while, and then probably finish up the night over with Legion of Myth if he's on tonight. And otherwise, I will see you guys maybe tomorrow with T-Shirt Historian. And until then, guys, have a great weekend. We love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. The weather is really beautiful out today. I hope it is for you guys too. And we'll see you real soon.